Let's talk about trade school. I think it's a different option out of high school that a lot of people don't consider. And I think that it's just as good as going to college, to be honest with you. And yeah, so on this episode of Quick Shots, I'm basically going to go over my opinions on trade school and why I think it might be a better option than going into college, because most people out of high school have no idea what they want to do with their lives yet, and they say they want to be a business major, like most of the people out there coming out of high school. So let's just start off with the benefits for going to trade school. So one, it's only 2 years to get your degree in whatever trade that you're looking to get. So if you want to become an electrician, it takes 2 years to become an electrician. Then there's some apprenticeship things as well. So if you need to, I think you need to serve a certain amount of hours of work in order to get a different type of certification in that field. That way you can be your own electrician, like you have experience in the field, like doing an internship. I know for like dietitians and nutritionists, to become a dietitian, you need to do like 900 hours of work. It's literally the same thing as going to trade school in terms of that. Like, you need to have an apprenticeship, you need to do work, and at the same time you're getting paid. And it only takes 2 years to get your to start working in out of trade school. And in college it takes 4 years most of the time, unless you go to community college and get an associate's degree. So that's pretty much it for that. And on to another benefit would be that it's in high demand. There's plumbers that make 6 figures a year. How nuts is that? Plumbers make 6 figures a year, some of them. Like, you would not think that when he comes, like, walking in your house to fix your toilet or fix your sink or fix whatever it may be, fix your plumbing, obviously. But they make a good amount of money, and you would say, like, why? Well, no one's going to trade school anymore. Absolutely no one is going to trade school because college is advertised as the better option, and we're taught in school that this is what we should do when we graduate high school. And yeah, so like no one's going in the trade school. There's not as many plumbers, not as many electricians, masonry, HVAC people, whatever it may be. So they need to fill, like, it's in high demand. We might have a day that comes where, no one's going to be able to fix our toilet, and YouTube isn't going to help. YouTube can fix a lot of things. YouTube can't fix stuff like that when people like it, like plumbing. Like, do you really want to mess with that? Electricians fix things in the walls and wires. Like, do you think a YouTube video is going to solve that? These are like, I'm all for the YouTube culture, learning off of YouTube and everything. That stuff like that, you might not want to mess with as much. But something else is that I want to talk about is the benefit of money. So it's very interesting in this. Think of it as in this way. So trade school costs between like $4,000 to $10,000 a year. 4 to 10. It's either 4 to 10 or 5 to 7, something like that. Anyway, it's way cheaper than going to college. It costs like $30,000 a year to go to a university like Penn State or Ohio State or Ohio State, but Alabama, whatever it may be. If you don't got a scholarship, it's a lot of money to go to school. So let's take this into account. So if I'm a college kid and I have to walk into college and pull out student loans, so say I go to a school that's $30,000 a year, I'm walking out of college $120,000 in debt. And you might say, oh, you can make that out in your first year. Absolutely not. It's really hard to find a job out of college. Nothing's guaranteed nowadays in this country. Like, there's people with jobs. You know how many jobless claims there was like in the last year? I think it's around like 675,000, which is a lot of people. You stay up to date on the news and get educated. But anyway, yeah, you're walking out of school with $120,000 in debt, and that takes 4 years. So by the time you graduate college, you're 22, 23. Trade school, you graduate when you're 20, and it's $10,000 a year. I'm $20,000 in debt rather than $120,000 in debt. And you might ask, like, how does this? I don't understand how this correlates. Well, think of it this way: if I start $120,000 in the hole, it's going to be really hard to make that back with no guaranteed job and other people in the field that like are doing the same thing. You're competing with hundreds upon thousands upon tens of thousands of kids to get a job right out of college. If you really think about it that way, there's 40,000 kids at Penn State. There's probably another 35 at Ohio State, and another 50. I don't know the numbers, but you get the point. There's a lot of people. You have to compete for a job. So you might make 6 figures out of college, but man, you got to be good at what you do. Not everyone is. People just like partying on Friday nights and spending a bunch of money. And different topic for another day. But anyway, yeah. So, and then when you're in trade school, $20,000. Remember how I said the job is in high demand? No one wants to be a plumber. So if I'm walking out of trade school, I'm only $20,000 in debt. I'm starting my apprenticeship. I'm getting paid during my 3rd year of educational experience, if that's what you want to call it. And I'm making money. You would probably make your money back and be able to pay off your student debt in 1 to 2 years, 3 years, however you wanted to do it. So I'm sitting at 22 now if I'm going to trade school, and I literally am positive. Win. That's a huge win. People pay off student loans for years and years and years and years and years to come because it's so expensive, and that's another talk for another day. But basically, yes, university is very expensive compared to trade school, and basically, if I was in a different situation, I would not have gone to regular college. I actually enjoy learning about marketing, and like that's what I want to do. So that's literally the direction I want to go in, and I want to work for a company someday. So college is the option for me. Now, if I was different, again, I said it before earlier in this, this podcast, that if I had no clue what I wanted to do coming out of school, and like I had no idea, I would have went to community college. I would have went to trade school just to like do something. I mean, you have to make money. It sucks at the end of the day that you can't just, live out in a car the rest of your life and just vibe near a lake or whatever it may be. But yeah, you got to make money. So you got to figure out where to get educated and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that you have to go to college, you have to go to trade school, you have to go to community college, you have to not work a part-time job or work at McDonald's. There's ways you can do that. Sure, there's some people at McDonald's that make a lot more money than you think because they use that money in other places and make money from it. There's people that make money from Instacart and go into options trading and make a lot more money. That's the story for another day. That's really off topic. But finally, I want to talk about the placement rate in, trade school and plumber jobs out of college and everything in terms of that. So, literally, like I was saying before, it's very hard to get a job out of college, and the placement rate's around like 80% for college kids at Penn State. And I'm like, numbers are numbers. Just take it as you want. But for trade school, it's very high. It's like 99 to 95% of people can get a job right out of trade school. And the thing is, like, if you like being El Jefe and you're about that entrepreneurship life, like, yeah, I want to do it myself, go to trade school because you can just start your own business right when you're done. You got experience. You can do something. You have a skill that no one else has really nowadays. Like, no one's going to be able to fix my toilet or change the outlet in my house and fix my light switch because no one wants to do trade school. But it's a better shot of getting a job than going to regular college. That's pretty much all I got on trade school. My mind's going in 15 different directions today. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I got. I hope this informed you about trade school and why it's kind of a great option if you don't know what you want to do out of high school. Have a good rest of your day. Hope you're getting through whatever you're getting through, and as always, y'all just keep on keeping on.